Look, firstly, welcome along to our very first event today, looking at customer vulnerability, people experiencing vulnerability and challenging some of the assumptions that sit around our notions of vulnerability and people that experience vulnerability. My name's Mike Reid. I look after the Consumer Wellbeing Research Group at the School of Economics, Finance and Marketing, and there's various numbers of my staff around the place who are here to support as well. I'll just say before we do start that the resources like the slides and bits and pieces we'll talk to speakers should be made available to you post the event as well. So you'll have some things, resources to draw from also. Welcome in the room, but also welcome online. We're a hybrid event, so we've got a number of people online and also a number of people in the room here today. So we hope it's going to be a great interactive event, and feel free, the whole idea is to engage. What I'd like to do before we formally really start the event is just do the acknowledgement of country. RMIT acknowledges the people of the Wurrung and Burrung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nation, on whose unceded lands we conduct business of the university. RMIT respectfully acknowledges their ancestors, elders past and present, and RMIT also acknowledges the traditional custodians and their ancestors of the lands and waters across Australia where we conduct our business. So a very important part of the day. So let's have a look. Nothing ever happens in a symposium or an event or a conference without sponsors, and we're very thankful and very grateful to have two great sponsors with us today. We've got Arima Research, who are speaking to you today as well. Insights and research around customers and vulnerability, clients and vulnerability. And so we look forward to hearing what they have to say. And likewise, Suncorp as well, who've been doing great things in the area of customers experiencing vulnerability. And we'll hear from Suncorp and our speakers from there today as well. So again, thank you so much for being part of this. We have an action-packed program. In some sense, it's a series of sprints across the day, so you'll be mentally exhausted and physically exhausted by the time you finish today. But nonetheless, you should be going, oh, what amazing stuff we've covered today, what amazing insights we've had, what great networks and friendships and connections that we've made across the day as well. Just having a quick look across here, just to make sure you're familiar with this, we've got our discussion right now, our keynote that's happening right now. Post-morning tea, we have a panel discussion with some amazing industry speakers who've been doing some fantastic work in strengths-based and customer vulnerability spaces, so we will hear from them. Post-lunch, we have two breakout sections, one of those looking at cost of living issues and customers experiencing vulnerability, and the other one looking at life stage and demographic elements of that. So you have choice to go to either of those. One of those is held on level 7, so there's stairways up and there's a lift up on level 7. Signposted, RMIT staff will take you in the direction as well. Post that, we've got some great workshops to attend. So you've got two workshops being held in-house here. The first one of those with Professor Maria Rossetti, who's joining us today, looking at how to respectfully include First Nations voices and perspectives in this area of customer vulnerability. And then one over in our behavioural business lab looking at unconscious bias. So two choices to make there across the day, and you did click those as you signed on to the event today. I must say with the BBL lab, you'll be like little tourists running around the place, so somebody is going to take you on a journey to the behavioural business lab, and if you've clicked that notion, please assemble, it's like being at school, isn't it? Please assemble at the entrance of this building where you came into the building, and the head of the BBL will take you across. He doesn't have a flag with a sign saying BBL, but perhaps we should have with that. After that, of course, I should say too, sorry, Kate, for our online people, we've also got a fantastic workshop around co-design, so co-design with customers experiencing vulnerability. So 3 great participatory events there too. Following that afternoon tea, then a final plenary session led by Professor Rebecca Russell-Bennett, who's joining us today. And that will bring together what we've thought about over the day and provide some reflections on this area of customers experiencing vulnerability and the strengths-based approach to working with different groups of people. Finally, we have a symposium close, so we have some refreshments over at Story Hall, over at the Oxford Scholar. For those of you who've been to RMIT, you'll know where that is. Other than that, it's just out the door and to your right. You can't miss it. We will take you over there as well. So that's our day, action-packed. A few quick necessaries. Morning teas and lunch are held out in the foyer there, level 5. Toilets, there's toilets down on level 4, down via the stairs or the lift. There's accessibility toilets on level 7 for those of you who require additional support, and also for those of you who are going to the workshops up on level 7 as well. And variously around the place you will see that there are RMIT helpers also. There is an RMIT symposium code for a guest Wi-Fi, and I'll make that available out in the foyer as well. So those, I think, most of the necessaries. So why are we here? Well, from my perspective at least, we're here to do a whole raft of different things. We're here to listen to what people have to say, we're here to learn, we're here to engage, we're here to reflect, we're here to share, and we're here to network. So I'm tasking you as much as us with being engaged in this whole forum, this whole symposium, and extract the most from it, and probe people and talk to people and make those connections. We're here to shift our lens, or to reflect on our lens in one sense, from that deficit approach to a strengths-based approach. So being customer and client-led, being design-led, looking through an empathetic lens and an empathetic lens at their view, their life, their goals, their desires, and then thinking about what we can do to support that. So how do we enable them to capitalize on their strengths, build out their capabilities, rather than just constantly focusing on negatives and deficits and wagging fingers at people because we think they're not doing what we want them to do. And to reimagine, I guess, our organizational approach. Because none of this happens without looking inside our organization and saying, well, how do we do things differently? How do we change our culture? How do we bring our constituents and stakeholders along on that journey from deficit to strengths-based, dealing with those individuals? So enough of me, on with the show. So this session, we've got some series of speakers. I've got Dr. Gary Loud coming up talking to us from the Australian Association of Social Marketing. I've got Professor Russell Bennett, who's going to come up and talk to us from the Centre of Behavioural Economic Society and Technology BEST. There's Amanda Forster from Suncorp, and we have Lucy Marshall from AREMA. And we look forward to hearing what they have to say.